everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So you have all been asking for more goldfish videos, and so that is what we're going to do. Today we are going to do what we feed this gorgeous little guy here. This is Belfin, for those of you that are maybe new to our channel, and he is food crazy. So I'm going to show you what we feed. He does have a lot of swimming issues, or he did have a lot of swimming issues, and we have managed to sort them out with a controlled environment and his diet as well. So let's get on to what we actually feed him, and he's going to love this video because he's going to get fed. Okay, so these are the staple things that we feed Belfin. Goldfish are omnivores, which basically means they need sort of like meat and also the vegetables. We do feed fairly heavy on the vegetable side, and as I said, Belfin does have swimming issues, or he did have swimming issues. We've actually completely got rid of them through changing his tank. He used to be in a 55-gallon, and in that tank he was not active. He would regularly float upside down on his side. He couldn't swim very well. So for those of you that don't know the story, very quickly we then moved him to a 10-gallon where he improved immensely, and now he lives in a 20-gallon long. I would like him to have more space, however this tank does do him really well, and he no longer has swimming issues. So our diet also we changed radically, and I do predominantly feed this one here, the Repahsy. Now this one actually is mixed up because it's almost empty. You can't really see in there. Let me just scoop it out to show you what it looks like. It's a powdered food that we then make up, and I am going to show you how I make it up because we do add other stuff into the mix. We don't just use the Repahsy. We do also use the Soylent Green, which that one is, and then I do mix in the grub pie as well, so he's sort of getting a balance of meaty things along with it. We also feed organic, no salt added green beans. These I will cut up into little pieces. The back ones are the green beans and the front ones are the shelled peas. We've taken the shells off them. That's very, very important. Now obviously all that I'm showing you here is not what he's fed as in quantity. This is just for the purpose of showing you. He's then also fed brine shrimp as well. I do occasionally feed bloodworms, but I do find that those do seem to mess him up with his swimming. There are certain foods that definitely trigger him, and bloodworms are one of them, so he very rarely gets those, but I do occasionally give him just a few. He does also have mysis shrimp. He doesn't have any problems with those, and he also has actual frozen shrimp that we defrost and then I cut up into small pieces for him. So he's a very spoiled little boy. So I'm just going to put the lids back on some of these things, put the frozen stuff away, and then I'll show you what we add into our Repahsy and how we make it up. Okay, so what you will need is obviously your Repahsy, and I will leave a link to it in the description box below if you want to take a look at it. All our fish eat this food, the betta fish, even the puffer fish, our denison barbs, all the community tanks will eat this. Now snails will eat this, however I do make up a separate batch simply because I add a lot of calcium to that, so that is why. Now usually I will do sort of 2 heaped spoons. Sometimes I will need to add more in, and if I do then I will do that at the end. I then have a mixture of frozen food that I've defrosted, and this is actually baby brine shrimp, and that's just simply because I have so much of it that I am putting that one in. But sometimes I will do mysis shrimp, I will do just regular brine shrimp, so you can put whatever you want into the mixture. You will then need some boiling water. Okay, so I have a cup in with some boiling water. Shameful promotion there, it's one of ours. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just add a little in at a time, and you're going to mix it up, and it sort of ends up forming like a jello. Now, like I say, you may need to add in more as you go along. It really depends what consistency you want. So I am going to add in a little more to the mixture, because I do like it fairly firm for him so that it doesn't mess the water up too much. And also I'm then able to hand feed him because it's nice sort of solid chunks. So once you're happy with the mixture, you're then basically going to, you're then basically going to just flatten it out however you want, and at that point you're then just going to wait for it to cool down and set. This you can actually cut up and put in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks, and you can do it in the freezer for up to 6 months. So you can actually make a huge batch of it if that's what you want to do, and then put it into the freezer. I actually make it up every 2 weeks because I like to add different things into it just to give him a change. But this is the staple food that we feed him. He gets fed this more than he gets fed anything else, and I am sure that this is what has taken care of all the swimming issues that he's had. So you can feed this food several different ways. Today I am going to do it by hand feeding him. However, you can actually sort of break it up. I also like to do that where I will literally crumble it all around the tank so that he's got to go and search for it. And obviously that then gives him enrichment. You can see he's starting to go crazy because he can actually smell it. And there we go. Now he's... There we go. He absolutely loves this food. It can be a messy food, but as long as you've got good filtration, then it will clean up in no time. We also have snails in this tank, and so it's then easy for the snails to get fed because of all the food that goes to the bottom. He will also spend hours sifting through the substrate. So to me, this is basically the food that keeps on feeding, because he will, like say, just go through it for so long that I feel that he's getting a really good meal. So I am actually going to break some of this up into the tank. You can see it sort of goes into bits and then it will sink to the bottom. He's wanting hand feeding again. And there we go. So now he, like say, he will then go round. All this will sink to the bottom. The snails will eat it, but he will also get a lot of it as well. So it really is a engaging food to feed, and also a very simple food. I do only feed him once a day. That is all we do, and I do feel that that also has made a big difference, because when we were doing the twice a day, I just felt that it was too much for him. Whereas with this, like say, he can go through and sift and find little chunks of food, and so it's almost like he's grazing, which is what they would do as a natural behaviour. You can see all the moss balls there that he's completely destroyed. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. I do hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you feed your goldfish and what you think your goldfish's favourite food is. I think by far this is the favourite for Belfin. And I do think probably a close second are his peas. Like I say, I don't plan on doing a quantity or sort of the ratio of what we do, because I do think that that is a very individual thing. All I will say though is this is the food that is fed predominantly throughout the week. The other things are given sort of more sparingly. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.